Hey guys, this is StarrySky and welcome to this electric healer loadout video. Now in this video I'm going to be going through the PowerPoints and then explain reasons why I've chose a certain power and the reasons why I haven't chose some other powers, and then I'll go to the loadout and pretty much the reason why I am using this particular power. That sounds terrible. Hey guys, it's StarrySky. Welcome to this electric healer loadout video. Now in this video I'm going to be going through the electrical PowerPoints, letting you see where I've put the PowerPoints themselves, include into both trees and the iconics, and then I'll go through and talk about why I haven't selected some powers, and then I'll go to the loadout itself so you can see what the end product is. So first of all, let's go straight to the voltage tree, and I have put PowerPoints in Tesla Blast, Bioelectric Surge, and then to open up the PowerPoint below, I put a PowerPoint in Wired, or you can put it in Megavolt, it's up to you. But I've put it in Wired to unlock Electrogenesis. Now this is our healing over time. And now in the Amperage tree, I've gone and put PowerPoints in Repulse, Overcharge, Spark Barrage, and then with these two PowerPoints here, I'll unlock the PowerPoints, so I'm able to put them in Flux, Invigorate, Biocapacitor, Galvanize. And in the iconic powers, I have put PowerPoints in Miracle Worker and Empathic Healing. Now these are two primary healing innates. And for two PowerPoints left over, I've put one in Intimidating Gaze. Now the reasons for this, why I've put this for, is because as you can see in the description, increases the potency of certain defensive and healing abilities. So since in one of the updates, basically dominance does go towards healing now. So that's the reason why I put a PowerPoint there for. And then finally I put a PowerPoint in Wisdom of Solomon. Now the main reason I put a point here for is just to make my power pool slightly bigger, and also to get slightly more power regen when I'm doing weapon combos in between heals. Because as an electric healer I can go for quite a lot of power, so the better power regen I can get is always good for me. Okay, so now let's go back to the voltage tree and I'll go through two of the powers which I have not selected and the reasons why. Now I know some people have told me, try Arc Lightning out. Now the description of Arc Lightning says, strike your target with a bolt of electricity that can jump to and damage more enemies, or jump to and heal allies. Now for me, I personally do not find this to be a particular good skill. Now my reasons for this is it first of all has to hit a enemy target, which means if there's no targets it's not going to heal anything. And the range on it for is, if you've got people going melee, then it's going to great, you're going to hit the target, it's going to heal them, but it still has to jump from a target to actually heal them. But if that target dies when it gets hit by the skill, it won't jump to another target, or it won't even jump and heal an ally. So this is probably my main reason with it for though, but also in for raids like say Paradox. There's when you go into tunnels there's groups of ads. It might work in there because there's a big group of ads, people might go close, but generally it's only mostly going to be healing the tank, because mostly people do have to stay ranged, because even those big groups of ads can kill them, same as on the bosses. If you use Arc Lightning, it's only going to be hitting the tank, because no one will go and melee any of the Paradox bosses, which means singly Arc Lightning would become a single target heal, which then would become pointless, because in your loadout you're going to have Bioelectrical Surge and Biocapacitor, which are already two single target heals. So that's my reasons why I do not like Arc Lightning at all. Some people may like it, that is your opinion, and that is fair enough. This is just my opinion on the skill itself. Now also down to Ionic Drain. This is a decent power and a decent healing thing, but I think it's only personally up to maybe T3. I personally don't even think it's that remotely good for even T4 content. But in T5 content, it especially does not cut the job. what Ionic Drain does, well, I'll just read the description and I'll go through it. Ionic Drain drains ions from your target or the environment to replenish yours and up to 7 group members' health. Your target is continuously damaged and stunned, and finally knocked down. So this is pretty much gonna keep you in an animation for a good few seconds, and what this skill does, it will heal really quick, but small ticks of like about 30-40 at a time, but really fast. And then at the end of the animation, it will do one big heal. So how's this not too good for T5 content, especially in the T5 raids? Well, let's think about it, right? The T5 bosses, they hit hard. They will hit thousands at a time. So if you're going to use Ionic and you're healing 30-40s at a time, but the tank or group's going to get hit for thousands, Ionic Drain is just not going to be able to cut it. It will not be able to heal that much, that quickly. So you're literally going to be using as your main healing skill. You're going to be using Galvanize, especially. But then with that, you still need to have good positioning and still, since it has a range to it. So as you can pretty much guess from Ionic Drain, it just does not heal enough fast enough. If it healed maybe like 200 or 300 at a time really quickly, then yes, it probably would be able to cut it for T5 content. But currently, at the moment, Ionic Drain for me does not work at all. It's just not good enough for the T5 content. So the skill I have used and replaced it with, which you'll see in my loadout in a minute, is Flux. Now we all know the current healer powers like Celestial, Nature, Sorcery all have a group shield, but Electricity doesn't, apart from a supercharge. So for me as a healer, I like to have a shield, but especially I have to say I'm a big fan of Flux. Now I'll read the description and then we'll go through it. Flux, usable while controlled, another good bonus. Surround yourself with an electrical charged bubble that repels enemies and prevents incoming damage. So what does this mean when it repels enemies? As soon as you pop the skill, it will push enemies away from you, ads, all this kind of stuff. So it's also a very good CC thing. So if you're a healer, especially solo healing, and you get on a lot of aggro or focused down by ads, you could pop this and it'll push them away, buying you time to move out away from them. But also, being able to be used when it's controlled. So if you're stunned, you can pop this. Great, you get some protection from it. But the main reason I use this skill in my loadout for, and the main reason I like it for, is if you're using the mod in your hand socket called Regenerative Shielding. Now that mod will come into effect every time you use Flux. Now Regenerative Shielding basically gives you a heal every time you use a shield that it's able to use to get the benefit from them. So basically in the mod itself, it will say in the description which shields it will give the heal with, and Flux is one of them. So every time I pop Flux, I averagely get a heal in between 13 to 1500, which is a lot just from a mod, and Flux has a cooldown of around 20 seconds. So roughly every 20 seconds, if I want to use my shield, I can get a heal out of it, which means if I'm taking damage and I still need to heal myself, I can pop Flux, heal myself, prevent damage, and then I can carry on healing everyone else without having to worry about myself too much. Also, if I did have for some reason managed to die and someone's revived me, instead of wasting a soda or having to use one of my single heals, I can pop Flux, which would then prevent any damage and then heal me at the same time, especially if I died near one of the blue spheres in Paradox. That means I can be revived, and immediately I'll pop Flux, preventing dying from any of the balls, and also getting a heal. For me, this skill is irreplaceable in an electric loadout. Okay, so now let's go to loadout, and then you can actually see what the final product is. Okay, so from left to right, but please remember this is how I like to have my loadout, and pretty much this is how I'm comfortable with, so feel free to move it around how you see fit. So from left to right, I have Bioelectrical Surge, Biocapacitor, Electrogenesis, Galvanize, Flux, and Invigorate. Now Bioelectrical Surge and Biocapacitor are our two single target heals. Now the reason why I have two single heals for is because this one, Biocapacitor, will, as I'll go through the description, instantly restores health to you and the most injured group member. If yours of a group member's health, up to 3 group members, falls below 35% within the next 2 minutes, some of the health will be restored. Pretty much what this does is it will apply a 2-minute safety buff to a group. So basically, as I said, if the health drops below 35%, this safety buff will kick in and it will heal them. So which means, as soon as we've used this and we've applied the buff, obviously we're going to use it first to heal someone at a single target first so we can get the heal and the buff. And then after this is used, we would use Bioelectrical Surge as a single target heal, while Biocapacitor is on cooldown. But also the good thing about these 4 though is that they can actually be clipped at the same time. Pardon me. Okay, then Electrogenesis. Depending on your role, create a damaging aura or on your 2 closest enemies, or a healing aura on yourself and your closest ally. This aura contains a portion of their effects to those nearby. So what does this mean? This pretty much means that as a healer, if it's on a single target, it will put 1 dot on a target and it will heal like the tank. Or if anyone's close to the tank, it would heal, as I said, a portion of whatever it's healing the tank by around them. So you can pretty much say this is either a single target or an AoE heal. If you've got loads of people in front, if you've got a group in front of you and you're at the back, this will apply 2 dots. So pretty much it will apply, I don't know what your plan is, basically it will apply like a dot to 2 people in your group, which will then heal them for a majority, and if you have group members stand around them, it will heal them of a portion of what it would be healing the main 2 people with the dots on them. So this is, as I said before, this is our healing over time skill. Galvanize. Now what this does, it creates a wave of electrical energy to heal yourself and all allies within range, growing in strength with every ally healed. This is our group instant heal. But with this one though, to use Galvanize properly, you have to have good positioning. Mostly what you would like to do is you would roughly try and position yourself around the middle of the group, because this does have a certain range to it. And if you're like in Paradox, if you're over on one side and your group's over on the other side, then Galvanize is not going to be able to heal you properly. As they won't get healed on the other side. Now, as this will go back to what I was saying before about Galvanize. Galvanize is one of its powers that you have to have good positioning with. If you're not in a good position to heal people and they're out of range, then they're not going to get healed. So you need to be in a good position, mostly around the middle, or at least around most of them, to be able to heal them within the area that they need to be. Okay, so then we've got Flux, which as I went to before. It's a self-shield with the mod regenerative shielding, becomes a self-shield and a self-heal, which is very good to prevent damage, or just for a self-heal yourself, so you can save your 2 single target heals for other people. Or if you've died, you can pop Flux, prevent some damage while you get up, and it'll also heal you. And then we have Invigorate. After 50% supercharge, which will heal and give power to people, plus also it will also apply the 2-minute safety buff to everyone in your group. So that is the loadout PowerPoint. I've gone into a bit of explanation about it. If there's any other questions, please leave it in the comments or send me a private message as usual. And until next time, I'll see you then.
Beware my power. Green Lantern, fly!